Yes, people, sorry if there's a bit of a background noise from this god-awful A-road, possibly the noisiest A-road in the country. I don't know what this tarmac is. Anyway, we are back on Amazon Flex, 3.5 hour block, 2:30 until 6, and I picked this one up because interestingly, it was already on a boosted rate the day before the block. And I don't think that's something I've ever seen, maybe once or twice in the past, but very, very rare that you see blocks with boosted rates the day before the block is gonna start. So I was very curious, and look, it's probably just pot luck, but part of me wants to believe that this is boosted early because Amazon know full well that this is a horrible route. I mean, just look at it. Every single pin is in green, just in a field. So no doubt we're about to go on a farm tour of the Southwest. The only saving grace is that this is a 3-hour route instead of a 3.5. So maybe we'll finish half an hour early. That would be nice. Maybe a little bit more early if things go well. But yeah, as it stands, this route's looking pretty killer. I'm going to expect the worst with this one because I think if you expect the worst, you can't get too angry by the time you're in the thick of it. But yeah, ultimately, I've got no clue where this first drop is. Somewhere in the middle of nowhere. So yeah, 11 miles away, 14 minutes. Let's see what happens. Stop number 1 is a farm. Who'd have thought it? Can I get into this gaff? At the front door? I can hear a TV. Can't see anyone. Well, thankfully, we have an abundance of safe spaces. Alright. Well, that's one down, that's a start. So all in all, we are making 32 stops, well 33 counting the depot to pick up, but 32 actual delivery stops with 41 parcels. So most deliveries are going to be one parcel, which is something. I saw those lights, and I thought someone had broken down in this lane, but I think it's just a queue to join the A road. Ah, some kind of incident. This would be why. I guess we're good. What's happened here? Ah, there's been some kind of shunt. Lots of police. Annoyingly, I think we have to go back that way for our next delivery. We are turning in here by the looks of it. I think it's either this place. Oh no, it's actually for the garage.
Yes. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. And these next 2 deliveries look like they're at the scene of that crash, so this will be fun. Luckily that crash looks like it's been cleared up now. Police starting to move away, so good news all around. Oh no, there's still police there. Oh well, we are turning left here by the looks of it. I don't know, can't tell. The pickup truck's gone, recovery truck, so I guess that's good. Right, somewhere here. There's the bad boy. Kicking off, mate. It's kicking off in honest Northley, wherever the hell we are. I swear no one struggles with gates as much as I do.
Sorry, it's not a real store.
That's alright.
Is it an Amazon parcel?
It is indeed.
On the step for me, is that right?
Yeah, no worries.
Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, take care. Cheers, bye. I think she just said, I'm very sorry, it's not a real door. Don't know what to make of that. Old school doorbell. No answer. I'll go ahead. Leave it in there. Snap a photo, job done. And what do you know, for this next drop, we're literally going to that house right there. We just need to get ourselves, a lovely gap. A beautifully timed gap, just for me. And we're here, lovely. Thank you. All right, if I'm not mistaken, if my memory serves me right, we are slowly but surely leaving this A road now and heading into the countryside. Sure, I don't mind, to be honest. I've gotten used to it. You know what I mean? I think once you've done these routes enough and you know your car can handle pretty much anything and you know what it can't handle, and in those cases you either find another way around or you just don't do that delivery, you mark it as undeliverable, you take it back to the depot. Safety first, folks. Then these routes are all right. The downside really is the mileage you normally end up doing, and your car's covered in shit when you go home. But beyond that, they're not too bad, and you get the added benefit of avoiding rush hour traffic in towns and cities when you're on these routes. So gotta look at the bright side. Thing is, I'm saying all this off the back of a route I did the other day that I didn't film, and it was a beautiful new build housing estate route. Total mileage was like 3 miles, just the easiest drops in the world. Honestly, it was beautiful. Right, I think we're dropping here, and we're just gonna have to block the road, I'm afraid.
Sorry to keep you waiting.
No, that's all right. You take care. Cheers. I just hope I'm not blocking someone on this road. Ah, yes, we were. Cheers, mate. Always feel really bad when I hold people up, but luckily there is somewhere I can turn around for this gentleman. All right, 2 minutes to the next drop. So far, so good. It's been a little bit awkward with where I've been delivering, but yeah, not too bad. Pacing-wise, we're doing all right, because these ones looked not as like close together as some of the other ones, so hopefully that means we've got a nice little cluster coming up. But yeah, things are going all right. A few drops in now, no real hold-ups. Slightly awkward in terms of making those drop-offs, just being on a main road and stuff, but yeah, it's been all right. I've dealt with worse. Where are we now? Wilmington. I don't think I'll ever do enough Amazon Flex to fully learn the southwest of England and Devon. Just always seem to end up somewhere new. Part of the fun though. I've said it before, and I shall say it again. The variety of locations is one of the things I like about Amazon Flex. I know for a lot of people it's a point of anxiety when it comes to gig work, because it's something you don't get with food delivery, where you can just pick to work in your hometown, you know all the roads. And I get that. Don't get me wrong, doing food delivery in Taunton for me is far easier and for the most part less stress inducing, but then again it certainly doesn't pay as much, so. Porch isn't open. I'll leave that one at the front door, safely out of sight. We are 2 minutes from the next drop. Yeah, we are now, I think, finally in the clear in terms of this A road. We're going to be leaving it behind and heading to country lanes, which yeah, a little bit more peace and quiet, as long as they're not horrendous in terms of terrain. I won't be too unhappy about it. Just one more little trip along it now. But yeah, I've got to say, so far, oh, this is a bit blind, isn't it? Luckily it is 30 now, so I don't think we're in any grave danger. Can't remember if I mentioned, by the way, but yeah, this block is boosted up to £72 instead of the usual £61.50. So even if the route gets a bit difficult, I'm likely not going to complain too much, because it probably will be worth it, even if it's a bit of a tricky countryside route. I'm sure we'll find out pretty soon what we're dealing with. As you might be able to tell, we are now delivering to a farm with a very lovely driveway, if I do say so myself. Very picturesque, nicely fenced, smooth tarmac. With a bit of luck, we can do this in the letterbox. Lovely jubbly. All right, looks like the next 3 drops are all basically neighbours just down the lane that we came off into this farm, and they're all separate stops, which is good. So that's going to wipe out another 3 drops off the route. I will give this route credit so far. It's not as bad as it looked, at least so far. There's always potential, but so far, so good. I left the depot about 45 minutes ago. It was about a 20-minute drive to the first drop, so yeah, pace-wise, we're doing all right. Thank you, take care. Hey, yeah.
Hi there. Super.
Thanks very much. Bye-bye. Hi there, all right.
Yeah, that's it. Oh, sorry.
That's all right. Thanks very much. Bye-bye. All right, folks, we are done with those 3 deliveries to 3 neighbours. They were all literally next to each other. So that's 3 drops done nice and quickly. We're losing the sunshine now, but should stay dry. I've specifically come out today because it said it was going to be dry all day, so hopefully that rings true. I'll say, all these houses around here are beautiful. But yeah, we are now finally kind of heading away from that A road. So from here on out, should be the usual kind of countryside affair. But I got to say, so far the roads have been good. Haven't faced any kind of floods or uneven, horrible terrain or anything like that. I'm not saying it isn't coming, but so far so good. And we're actually nearly halfway through this route. We are now on drop like 13 or 14 or something. So yeah, a couple away from the halfway point. Yeah, I've got a good feeling. I've gone from feeling pretty full of dread about this route to feeling like actually we're kind of smashing it out of the park, and I've not even been out for an hour yet. But I will say, if it's a 3-hour route, I would expect it to take close to 3 hours. Well, we'll just have to see what comes. Bit of a confusing one, this. There must be 2 addresses behind this gate. There's only one buzzer though. Let's see through the... God knows.
Calling. Please wait.
EE voicemail. I don't know what's going on. Oh, it's ringing again.
Hello?
All right, we're in. So now I need to locate these 2 different addresses. All else fails, I'll just ask whoever I can. By the looks of it, that looks like more than one property, is it? Not entirely sure. Oh well, let's go find out. Are you Hill Farm? Brilliant, let me go and get your 2 parcels. It's all right. I was always going to get the wrong one first, wasn't I? Hello. Do you happen to know where is?
I'm sorry, I don't.
They've
no.
both been marked as through the gate on my map.
Through my gate.
Yeah.
Might be the next house down.
Out of the
Must
gate.
be what they've named their house.
Ah.
Do you know the farm opposite?
Yeah.
It's there.
Perfect.
They've built a house, so yeah.
Thank you for your help. Cheers. Problem solved. A little bit hindered by this drop because Amazon Maps said that both houses were through this gate. Turns out they are pretty much directly opposite, I've been told. And now hopefully this gate just opens on its own. Thank the Lord. So we're looking for a farm, a house on a farm that should be opposite. That looks like a farm. There's certainly nothing else in the vicinity. I guess we're going up there. That delivery and this one, they've been grouped together into one stop despite being on opposite sides of the main road. And then I delivered to 3 neighbours who were like a few steps from each other on the same road, and they were all separate drops. I don't understand how Amazon's stop grouping thing works, because it doesn't. Hello. Let's grab a photo of these if that's all right. Thanks so much. We are very close to that beautiful halfway point. It's always nice being at the tail end of your route rather than the beginning. I need to turn off airplane mode because that is the only way that you can get these deliveries when they're marked in the wrong place. The only way you can get them done without calling support is to utilize airplane mode, because then the GPS is not working option appears when you're making the delivery. So far we're not doing too bad on mileage. About 18 miles we've done so far. I forgot to reset my odometer, so I did it about 5 miles into the trip when I was on the very, very noisy A30. So just adding 5 miles on to whatever is on the odometer at the end of the day. But yeah, another reason I wanted to get out today and do another flex block is pretty soon I'm probably going to be doing far less of them, because once winter has set in and it gets dark at like 3:30 in the afternoon, I'll probably do a handful here and there, especially if it's for content, just for the lols. But actually going out and doing it for work, for money, I really don't enjoy it in the dark. It's just so much more difficult, especially in Devon. Do you really want to be driving around places like this in the dark? It's just not for me. This cottage, however, very much is. We are going to have to block the road again. All right, thank you. Just have to pull into this random driveway to let a car through that was coming up the lane. But yeah, so the winter for me does mean less Amazon Flex, but it means more food delivery. And it also means that food delivery should be busier, because winter typically is pretty good for food delivery, and I'm hoping that this year is no different, and that we have a really nice, busy, active end of 2024 on the food delivery apps. We can make some banging content, taking full advantage of the busy time of year. But I do think what I'm going to have to do is what our friend London Eats has done with regards to his camera, and swap out the GoPro for either an Insta 360 Ace Pro, I think that's what it's called, which I think is the one that London Eats got, which has a much better night mode for filming at night time, because GoPros just ain't gonna cut it. GoPros just straight up suck at night time, like really, really bad. If you're in like a really well lit city centre with loads of lights and stuff, it's not too bad, but the second you're just on roads with standard street lighting, you just can't see anything. Probably do one video at least with the GoPro, see if I can make it work. just try and work some magic on the footage in post, but might have to upgrade the camera, upgrade the rig. I just need to double check a few things before I get it, such as, is the microphone as good as the one in the GoPro? If not, I'll have to look at like a lav mic that I can clip onto my clothes, and then I have to figure out how to record the audio and sync it up with the video and do things that I've never done when it comes to editing these videos. So despite all that, I'm very much looking forward to the winter time and making videos for you guys, especially more food delivery videos, because as I said, the busy time of year is typically pretty good for food delivery. I normally have a lot of fun during the winter on food delivery, make a lot of money. So yeah, if food delivery content is your thing and you're not subscribed to the channel, get yourself subscribed. Guys, we're so close to 10K. Let's make it happen. I would love you all forever. It'll be a special place in my heart for my first 10K subscribers. You know you want to be part of that club. Come on. I think this is where we're delivering. It can't really be anywhere else, can it? Hello there. Thank you very much. Cheers. With that delivery, we have just now gone into the second half of our deliveries, and we're still yet to reach the clusters of very, very close drop-offs. So I'm hopefully within an hour, maybe a tiny bit longer, we can wrap this one up. For me to finish on time, we need to be done by 6. So I think we're pretty safely gonna manage that, seeing as we're on a 3-hour block instead of a 3.5. Hoping we get this done by 5:30, but I'm pleasantly surprised all these stops in the app that looked quite far apart have actually been like 2-3 minute drives max. It's this house here. Are we... This doesn't look like how you get in though, or is it? It is indeed. Lovely. At least I think so. I mean, it's got to be, right?
Yeah, cheers.
Yeah, nice one. Let me just double check there's not don't think I need anything. Nah, all good.
All good.
Cheers, mate. And you. So just looking at our remaining drops, we're pretty much heading into this first cluster now, and then just down here for the second one. They're all kind of countryside still, but based on the route we've had so far, it's all been pretty straightforward. So yeah, it's always nice when routes kind of look nasty and then you actually get into the meat and potatoes of them and they end up all right. This is definitely an example of that. And yeah, this Wilmington area we're in, I've never delivered in before, so it's, again, like I said, nice to come to new areas and experience places that you'd never come to otherwise. And we're getting a fairly decent pay rate for this one as well. So all in all, so far, very happy. And we're about to go down here. Is my opinion about to change? Seems all right. Get ourselves over this cattle grid. Wibble wobble, wibble wobble. Probably the worst terrain we faced today, but no worries. It's just that very sort of rocky, slightly muddy surface. A few potholes here and there, but all good. I think we're here. I think it's this one. Oh yeah, I did see, so on my last video, which was a food delivery video, we did that kind of rainy Wednesday shift, and I gave you all an update on what happened with Uber Eats and how I got my account back. And I said I didn't know if it was from the video or what. From the comments, it seems that most of you think it was definitely from the video. And look, I get it. It may well have been. Put it this way, I'm hoping that it wasn't. Like I mentioned in the video, they made no mention of the video, but I will admit they probably wouldn't anyway, even if they did see it, because they wouldn't want to seem like they're specifically responding to the fact I made a YouTube video. They'd want to seem as if they've actually read my support tickets and done it the normal way. So I do understand that it potentially still looks like the video might have done it. I don't want that to be the case. I really, really don't. And I do understand that them giving me the £200 compensation does make it slightly more suspect that maybe it was the video, because I heard from some of you that in cases where you got locked out of your account wrongly and then eventually got back in, all they did was give you your account back and they didn't try to reimburse you for any kind of lost earnings. So that disappoints me to hear, because at that point I hadn't spoken to any other drivers who had been in a similar situation, so I didn't know what the norm was. But yeah, I mean, I hope in the future Uber do begin to take more of a proactive approach when it comes to support and making sure that people can access decent customer support when they need it. Because like I said, it wasn't the fact that I got locked out of my account or that it was requiring me to register a substitute that I didn't have that was the problem. The problem was the support and the lack of it. That's what really grinded my gears. Just not being able to reach a competent human being who listens to your problem and takes steps to solve it. The fact that it took me calling them out on YouTube, probably, at this point, like, yeah, it probably was the video, to get someone's attention, that's not good. And I hope they've learned something from that. We can only hope. Here we go, our first. It's not quite a nope. I think we can get up there fairly safely. But yeah, we haven't had anything like this so far. It was always going to happen, wasn't it? I just hope there's somewhere I can turn around. Oh, you're kidding me. You want me to go up there? Oh, God. I mean, it looks fine. Let's just do it. At least we can turn around. That's all good. You're right. There's those two. Cheers. We got ourselves back down here. I mean, it is a cool house though, isn't it? Being nestled right in the woods. Not a massive fan of his access road, but you know, it's swings and roundabouts, isn't it? If you want to live somewhere like that, unless you've got £1 million to spend on a nice new tarmac road being built just for you, which, let's be real, is probably a waste of money, and it's actually nowhere near as bad as I thought it was when I first turned in, so I'd put up with this if it meant I lived somewhere like that. Anyway, we're now heading to drop, I think, 19 of 32.
Brilliant.
All right.
Thank you very much.
No worries.
Cheers.
Cheers. We are rapidly approaching our final 10 drops. I think we have 12 to go at this point. 10 to 5 is the time now, so it's very, very difficult to tell from the map how quickly you're going to get the route done, especially on these kind of routes where you never know what you're going to run into terrain-wise and where you're going to have to navigate. But like I said, the rate was boosted for this block, so even if we finish at 6, I'd still be pretty happy. Because the mileage hasn't been too bad either. Adding 5 miles onto that because of me forgetting to reset it, we're still just over 22 miles. The dog's heard me, so sorry bud, can't give it to you. Oh, all right.
Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, take care. See some doggos. That's the back. Another way to the front? There wasn't another way, was there? Sneaky little gate right here, isn't there?
Hello, mate.
Hello, all right?
Yeah.
Mind if I grab a quick snap? Nice one.
Thank you.
Cheers, mate. We are officially on to our last 10 drops. The question is, how quickly can we do them? It's just gone 5 o'clock. We haven't gotten to that second cluster yet. I think that's the last 8 or so. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how this goes.
Oh, that's great, thank you.
It's all right, let's grab a quick picture.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Lovely.
That's lovely.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Yeah, there we go. 2 more here, and then we come down here for... Oh, I've been counting 1 less. All right, fine. You've got like 10 left now. Hello, all right, number 3?
Yes, that's
Perfect. Thank you very much. So, yeah, I'm officially lost on what delivery number we're on. Oh, I need to turn around, don't I? There's either 9 left or 8 left or something like that. Either way, we're in that home stretch. It is 10 past 5. Tell me what way I'm pointing. I'm guessing that's where we are, so I'm gonna turn left, I think. Got half the reason I stopped using Google Maps and switched to Apple was because Apple Maps was really good at showing you like what way you were facing on the map. So you knew when you were coming out of this like random driveway in the middle of nowhere whether you were going left or right, which is actually pretty important when you're on narrow lanes. Like, it really is quite annoying when you realise you've gone the wrong way and you have to go back to a turning point, spin the car around, and yeah, sometimes it just doesn't do it. Anyway, this is the final drop before we head to the last cluster. It doesn't look that far away. I mean, it's not really a separate cluster in all honesty, but I'm excited to get to the end of this block. It's gone really quick, even though I know it hasn't actually gone quick, because it's nearly 5:15, and my 3.5 hour block is due to end at 6. Considering we got given a 3 hour, we should be done by 5:30, and I don't think that's going to happen. Shouldn't be too long after that, but yeah, I feel like Amazon, they're getting pretty good at giving you accurate block times, which is slightly annoying because in my experience so far, it'd all been very easy to finish early. And now it's, yeah, it feels like when you get a 3 hour route, if you work at a decent pace, it'll take you 3 hours. This one, you know, it was a 3 hour route, should be done by 5:30 then in theory, and we're not gonna. It's gonna be a little bit after. Luckily, quite a light box. I love those doorbells. I want to do it again. Not sure anyone's in. There's got to be a safe place around here, right? There's an open door. I think that's the same property, isn't it? There's another open door. Oh, you're kidding me, it's 15 minutes. We're going to that last cluster of drops. I thought it'd be like a 5 or 6 minute drive, but I'm so bad at telling distances just from the Amazon map. I cannot do it. God, 15 minutes, that's gonna put us well close to 6 o'clock for finishing this block. I've got 8 drops left, I've just double checked. And we've now got 15 minutes to get to the last area. I mean, I know the parcels, they weren't organised very well, but it didn't take me that long to find any of them. Yeah, I don't know, man. I just feel like Amazon are beginning to push us a little bit more than they used to. That's my gut feeling. I think they figured out that so many of us used to finish early so often, and they've gone, nah, we can't have this. I mean, I get it. Obviously, it's, you know, they need to be as efficient as possible. But yeah, I feel like it's happened. They've adjusted their algorithms. And I just don't think we're getting as lucky anymore. I think all the deliveries are close enough together that if we get there at 5:33, that gives us 27 minutes to do 8 drops. They're pretty close. I think we'll be all right, but it's gonna be close. Again, 3.5 hours. It's taken me 3.5 hours. The days of early finishes, they're leaving us, folks. Right, 12 minutes. So these last few deliveries, no time to waste. So there I was at the start of this video saying, oh, this route's going really well, should be done early, hasn't taken me long to reach the halfway point, blah, blah, blah. And this second half is, I mean, it hasn't gone badly, like nothing's really happened that's messed me up in any way. But all these stops are way further away from each other than in the first half. And oh God. Yeah, it's kind of killed the route. There's no chance of even finishing by 6 o'clock now. We have got 3 drops left. I got those few done as quickly as I can. Once we got down here in Northley, that's where we are. And yeah, 6-minute drive now to this next drop, and then there's 2 after. The penultimate one looks fairly close to this one, but then it looks like there's going to be a 4 or 5 minute drive to the final one as well. And then when we add on a drive back to the depot at the end, this is easily going to end up as a 4-hour route. I just don't understand how it works, guys. You get given a 3-hour block, a 3-hour cage at the depot. I'm still none the wiser as to whether that includes, the cage that you get factors in how far away the delivery area is. Because even if it has, right, then I should be finishing with enough time to get back to the depot. In my opinion, I don't know if that's how it works. I don't know if they factor that in or not. But obviously, you know, for the calculations at the end of this video, I will be factoring that in, time and distance. It just doesn't feel right to me that a 3-hour cage from the depot takes me 4 hours pretty much to deliver. Okay, I'm including a trip back to the depot, which you won't always need to do, but for my calculations, obviously that's what I do to account for the varying distance from home you're going to end up at the end of any Amazon Flex block. Sometimes you end up round the corner from your house, sometimes you're an hour away. So I just even all of that out by doing my expenses as if I finish at the depot just every time, regardless of whether I go back or not. So we'll be finishing this. I'll be adding on whatever Apple Maps says is the mileage back to the depot and whatever the time to travel there will be, and we'll add that on to what it's taken me so far, and we'll run the numbers down. And I think actually we're going to end up, and it's going to kill the 20+ an hour that this is paying. Maybe I was right at the beginning. My gut said that this was going to be a bad route, and then I thought I was wrong, and now I'm back to thinking that I was right. These routes can be very deceiving. Oh, this gig is such a roll of the dice. And the problem is, I don't think we're actually going to finish late enough for me to be able to claim any overtime. Ah, no, that house there, that's the drop after this one. Right, we're nearly at this one now. Let's get this one done, get that one done, and see how much longer we've got until we're finally done, because this is really starting to drag now. Oh, and it is now properly raining. I mean, yeah, it might as well rain. It's not really going to make anything worse at this point. Oh, they're all right.
Hi.
Thanks very much. All right.
Thank you, buddy.
That's all right. Perfect. Cheers, mate. All right, we're not as unfortunate as I had dreaded. We're only a 2-minute drive now from the last drop. But honestly, thank God this is over. We are arriving at this last drop at 4 minutes past 6. So we have run over our original block time, and we've certainly run over the 3-hour block time that this apparently was. Yeah, I feel deceived. The start of this route was filling me with hope that slowly but surely got taken away from me. What can you do? This is the nature of Amazon Flex. You have good routes, you have bad routes, and you have bad routes that you think are good routes and then become bad routes again. And now I've got to become Colin f***ing McRae to get up to this last drop. Yeah, all the way up we go. I do like Amazon Flex. Obviously I like Amazon Flex. I always talk about how I prefer doing these than food delivery, especially during the week, during the day, because the pay is just better. But there is a slight part of me that wonders if it's worth it. Once you factor in the fact that I've got to drive back to my house, the routes seem to be becoming more difficult, at least from a time perspective. Finishing early feels a lot more difficult than it used to be. And in this area of the country, these kind of routes have got to be damaging my car faster than food delivery does, you know, just driving around a town on easy roads. So there is a part of me that really does begin to wonder if ultimately I would be better off financially avoiding Amazon Flex. I don't want it to be the case, but my mind is starting to go there, you know, especially when you get routes like these ones. It just makes you realise how easy food delivery is in contrast. And we're done, folks. Right, I've run the numbers. I'll throw them up on the screen. Not quite as bad as I thought. We did end up making £15.26 an hour, and all of those calculations include 18 what was it? An 18-mile drive back to the depot from here, which would take 26 minutes. So I've added all of that on. So as you can see on the screen, including the drive back to the depot, we've gone over the 4-hour mark. Unfortunately, because I don't have to go back to the depot, I'm not going to be able to claim any overtime for this shift, which is slightly annoying. Now I wish I had a parcel to return because I could have claimed half an hour extra pay. Oh well, what can you do? Just one of those blocks that didn't go very well. I'm almost glad that I had a bit of a stinker today, because going into the winter and knowing I'm not going to be doing Flex as much, had it been like an amazing route, like a really easy one with good pay, low mileage, if that had happened today, I'd have been like, oh God, I'm not, you know, it would have maybe drawn me into doing more throughout the winter. But now I'm very glad that I'm absolutely not being drawn into doing any more of these logistics blocks over the winter. It would take a boost up to like £100 or more for a 3.5 to get me to come and do this during the winter and get a route like this. Either way, let's look at the bright side. £15 an hour, it's probably more than I would have made on food delivery today, although I'm not so sure now that the weather's gone like this. Maybe I would have made more just by staying in Taunton, but it's done now. We've done the route. This might be the last you see of Amazon Flex for a while, unless some crazy amount of pay comes up that I can't say no to, but at least it was a fairly interesting route. Obviously it didn't exactly go the way I hoped, but there we go. That is Amazon Flex logistics. Thank you for joining me as always, guys. If you haven't subscribed already, I'm only going to do this until we hit 10k, and then I'm going to shut up about it. We are so close to 10k. I would love to get there before Christmas. Thank you. In a bit, folks.